Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm really excited to be doing this video because I'm going to be doing a kind of beginner's guide to eyeshadow and maybe an easy everyday look for someone who's not used to wearing a lot of makeup but maybe wants to start wearing a little bit. Also, this is for my nieces. They're kind of getting into that age, some of them where they're starting to wear makeup, and so I just want to get this video out for everyone to hopefully avoid the awkward teenage makeup years, which I totally had, like 50 different stages of ugly, awkward makeup. But you know what? I love my mom. She always let me experiment and was nice to me and whatever. So anyway, I'm sure that has a lot to do with why I have a passion for it now. I always was trying new things. I still am. Some days I look better than others, just still the way it goes. But anyways, I'm hoping that this little video can kind of help you maybe avoid those awkward teenage years, or if you're just, even if you're not a teenager, but you're just kind of not used to wearing very much makeup, hopefully this will kind of give you a guide to go off of and kind of just a quick, easy, everyday thing to kind of just give your eyes and your face just a little bit more life, kind of bring the attention back to your eyes, make it just look fresh and awake. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video and we can go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for watching. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk to you about is priming your eyelids. Now this is something that I definitely recommend. You don't have to spend a lot of money. If you don't have like very oily eyelids, maybe you can get away without doing it, but for the most part, it's a really good idea to prime your eyelids. And that's going to be because if you put on your eyeshadow on just a bare eyelid, a lot of times it can kind of bunch up and crease and then it doesn't look good in a few hours. So it is a good idea to prime your eyelids, especially, if you are going to school. It's not like you want to touch up your makeup or, whatever when you're young and in school, so you don't want to worry about it. So a good and really affordable way to do it is use either your foundation or your concealer if you have one of those things. So like this CoverGirl, this would work great. Like this Maybelline Instant Age Rewind concealer would work great, whatever your foundation is. So I'll just use this CoverGirl one for right now. And you just want to put like maybe a couple drops on your eyelids. And then just using your ring finger, then you want to go in and blend that out. Just kind of pat it in. And you don't need a lot of this. You really don't want to cake this on, or else it will kind of bunch up everything anyway. So you just want to put a really light layer. And then a really important step is setting that with a powder. I will just use this Wet n Wild. It's kind of a highlighter, Reserve Your Cabana. Just kind of any powder. Any face powder will work. Okay, so that's a really good, easy way to prime your eyelids. So the next thing I want to talk about is what eyeshadow should you get? How, do you need to spend a lot of money? Can you get affordable ones? What eyeshadows should you get to, for brand new, maybe starting off your makeup collection? Ones that I really recommend are by Maybelline, these little quads. And this is by Maybelline Eye Studio. This is in the color Sunset Seduction. So a lot of times what you'll find with little quads like this is they'll have a light beige color like that, and then maybe a couple kind of medium colors. So this one's got kind of a shimmery pink and also kind of a shimmery brown, and then it'll have a dark color. This is a pretty typical layout for a lot of quads that you'll find in any of the drugstores, and I'll kind of go through in just a minute as I'm putting on eyeshadow and tell you kind of what each of those is for. But I just wanted to also mention that if you go to TJ Maxx, you can also find really affordable ones too. So like I just went to TJ Maxx and I got this on sale for $4. And it is packed of beautiful, beautiful brown colors. Tons of them. So it's like you can find eyeshadows affordably. And I definitely suggest that. Another thing that a lot of times people forget is you can use your other makeup products as eyeshadow. So, bronzers and stuff make great eyeshadows. And I just found this at TJ Maxx for, I think, $4 also. And it's just this little contour kit. But it's like, is it a contour kit or is it two gigantic eyeshadows? So, you can totally mix and match. You can use all your makeup for whatever you want to. So those are just kind of some things to keep in mind. Okay, so you don't want to spend, at least I sure didn't when I was in school, it's like you don't want to spend a ton of time getting ready every morning. So you kind of want to have just a simple, pretty go-to look that you can just kind of wear every day for school. So like I said, I'm going to be using this palette. You can use any eyeshadows you want, and I'm just going to kind of give a rough overview of why they make quads and kind of why they put the colors in. So the lightest color is made for a couple different areas on your, well, again, you can do whatever you want, but it's good kind of maybe a template, I guess, that you could go off of, is your lightest color is going to be used to highlight your brow bone and also highlight the inner corner of your eye. Doing those two things are really going to make your eyes look just bright and awake and happy. And also, I mean, if you're younger, you know, just maybe starting to wear makeup, you can just put a little wash of this just like right on your eyelid, and it'll just look pretty, and it'll just give you a teeny something extra. So that's all I'm gonna do right now, is I'm just using this little flat brush, and I'm just gonna kind of put some of that just right on my eyelid. And then I'm definitely going to bring this and put it kind of on the inner corner of my eye, and that's just really going to open up my eyes and just make me look nice and awake and bright. Okay, another thing I want to mention is there is no excuse to not have makeup brushes, because you can get them so cheap and they make such a difference in your makeup application. So some ones that I definitely recommend are by e.l.f. And you can pick up e.l.f. products at Target and Walmart, and I'm trying to think where else. I think those are the main ones that they sell them at. But you can pick up makeup brushes for $1, and so it's just like there's just no excuse to not have some makeup brushes. That's what both of these are, is e.l.f. And this is really, I mean, just get a couple of these and that's all you need. Another really affordable place that you can pick up makeup brushes is on Amazon. I sent my little niece a cute little pink makeup brush set. I mean, it's like a full size for an adult, but it was just cute and pink, so I sent it to her. And I got it for really, really cheap. I mean, it was maybe like $3 or $4, free shipping, and it came with quite a few brushes. So you can get really affordable ones on Amazon. You can get really affordable ones from e.l.f. at the drugstore. I mean, there are places that you can get really affordable brushes, so there's just no excuse to be using the little applicators that your eyeshadow usually comes with. Get some brushes, it'll make everything look way better. Okay, so for some people, anyway, after I just put on this white, just kind of that light wash of color, you know what, you could be done there. You could put on a little mascara and you could look great. One thing I suggest though, if you are gonna do this, is just keep it kind of below the crease. You don't wanna just give your entire eyelid a whitewash of your whitest eyeshadow. I used to think that was awesome when I was in, what grade would I think I was like 11. My brother Garrett got married, and I thought that was the most beautiful look in the world. And so for his wedding, I just put as much white eyeshadow as I could basically get on my eyelids and mascara, and I was like, this is gonna look great. We got the pictures back, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, it just looked hilarious. So if you are gonna give just a little wash of color, keep it lower, and then it will just look really pretty and you won't look crazy, and you can just avoid that awkward teenage makeup. Okay, so if you do want to take it a little step further and you do want to use a little bit more of your eyeshadows, the next thing I would do is go in with it and get a really fluffy brush like this. If you have a really good fluffy brush, it'll just make it pretty much foolproof, and you'll have just blended pretty makeup all the time. So now I would suggest going in with either of maybe kind of the two medium shades that come in whatever quad you're using. So, and you know what, I'm just going to have fun and I'm going to mix both of those kind of medium shades and just put them on my brush. And you don't want to go in with a totally loaded brush. I mean, that's a loaded gun. So you want to kind of get some on your brush, and then you want to tap it off a little bit so you can get the extra off. Because if you go in, that'll be really hard to blend out. So you just want to put just a little bit on your brush, and then you want to start, you want most of the color to be on the outer corner. So that's where you want to very first lay your brush down. In fact, I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. So you're going to just lay that brush down just right on the outer corner, and that's going to deposit most of that color right there, which is where you want it. And then just using a really, really light touch, you're just going to go and just kind of blend that all over, just in that kind of that crease area. And even if you don't have a really strong crease like I don't, just kind of pretend like you do. And just giving that just teeny bit of extra dimension is just going to do so much for your makeup. So I'm just going to get a teeny bit more. And again, it's really important that you're just slowly building it up versus going in with that loaded gun and then trying to blend it out. So just do little teeny bits at a time. You can do however much of this is that you want, but just use a really, really soft hand. It's like you barely want to even feel your brush on your skin. That's what I mean when I'm saying a really light, soft hand. Okay? And then just see the difference that makes. I mean, just look at my eyes compared. This one looks a lot more awake and open versus this one. So giving a little crease does help a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to my other eye now. Just this really soft, soft, light hand. You want it all always, always, always take your time blending. You can pretty much fix any makeup mistake by blending. So even though there's pretty much nothing on my brush now, I'm just still blending out that color. And because I don't want to, I really don't even want to see where anything begins or ends. And another really great trick is to get maybe 2 of these brushes, again, spend $2, and just kind of keep one clean all the time, and just use that to go back in and blend things, and your makeup will just, it'll look professionally done every time. Okay, so then again, at this point, you could stop, you could put on mascara, you could be out the door, look great. Okay, if you are a little bit advanced, or if you want to do a little bit more than this, then it's really fun to have this dark color in here. And what you can do with the dark color is kind of use it as an eyeliner. Especially if you're new to makeup and you don't want to, I don't know, wear eyeliner every day. I mean, it takes a while to really get used to being able to do eyeliner quick on yourself every day. So I always would suggest kind of starting out with a darker eyeshadow if you do want to give your eyes a little bit more definition, a little bit more dimension. So, and a lot of times that's perfect with whatever the dark color in your little quad is. So I'm going to use, and then again, just grab any kind of teeny brush like this. Oh, and I forgot to mention, another great place to look for cheap brushes is to go to a craft store. Go to Michael's or Joann's or something like that. Pick up some paint brushes, and they work really great for makeup brushes. Okay, so I'm going to grab, again, I don't want to go in with a loaded brush, so I'm just going to get a little bit and then just kind of tap off that extra. And then I'll zoom in for this part as well. And then this is where you want to just put this just right, like pretty much in your lashes. You just want to go right along the lash line and just give that a teeny bit more definition and dimension. Be careful not to tug on your eye too much. You can a little bit, but just try to be careful about it. And you want to just bring this kind of right to the edge of where your eyelashes stop. And then again, once there's pretty much nothing on this brush, in fact, you can even wipe it off. Sometimes I even wipe it off. And then just go back in just to blend. See how that just gives that eye a teeny bit more, like just almost makes my lashes look a little bit thicker.
Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing on this side.
Tip is, again, kind of like I showed you with the eyeshadow, you always want to start, you want to place your brush, hello, can't talk. You want to put your brush down on the outside of your eye first. You never want to go in with your loaded brush and start right there. You want to always start here and then just slowly, gradually kind of blend that inwards. Okay, and then you would put on your mascara. I would curl your lashes. That is something I definitely would recommend getting used to. It makes a huge difference. If you hate curling your eyelashes, my one niece hates to curl her lashes. She hates when anyone else does it. She hates it. So one thing I would recommend if you hate to do that is put on your mascara and then just like literally hold your eyelashes up and let them kind of dry upwards. So just, use your finger, push them up like how you want them, how you would curl them, and then let them dry. And this is a super easy look that it would take you. It might take you a few minutes to kind of figure out at first, but this is such a quick, easy routine that you could do every day that'll just really give your eyes some sparkle, and it'll just kind of bring the attention to your eyes and make you look awake and well rested and all those things that you probably don't get enough sleep when you're a teenager. I know I didn't. So any little tips and tricks that we can use to make us look more awake, I'm definitely a fan of. So then after, if you do want to, you can kind of go back in with that lightest color in your quad. And if you want, just kind of re-brighten up the inside corners of your eyes right there. Maybe put a little bit just right under your brow bone. I would focus this on the outer portion of your eyebrows, but the key to everything is just blend, blend, blend. And then as far as your lower lash line goes, if you're kind of young and just starting out, you really don't even need to put anything down there. If you do want to though, then I would suggest using a teeny tiny brush and then using a little bit of the kind of whatever the medium color shades of whatever quad you're using are, and then just get a teeny brush, put a little bit on, and just put it right on that outer kind of half or outer corner. I wouldn't try and drag it all the way in. I would just do a teeny bit right there, and that will kind of make your eyes look bigger and more round and more awake. So maybe just put a teeny tiny bit if you want to. Experiment, whatever. Some days you can try it, some days you don't have to. And you don't even have to wear mascara if you do it kind of light and natural looking enough. Okay, so that's a really just kind of basic technique that I showed you for a nice everyday look. I mean, there's obviously different things that you can do with your little palettes, with your quads, things like this. You can do tons of different looks with just these 4. So you don't need to spend a lot of money. You don't need to get crazy. Okay, so I'm going to curl my lashes, put on my mascara, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so when you're curling your eyelashes, you want to focus on doing it kind of in 3 sections. So first of all, you want to get as close to the very roots of your lashes as you can possibly get. And then you want to kind of just like bounce your fingers. See how they're just kind of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So do it like 5 times, and then kind of move it out to the middle of your lashes. And do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then go out to the very tip. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Curling them this way is going to really give them a natural, pretty curl versus like a really kinked, straight up curl. So I'm going to go ahead and do it on this eye. Also, your eyelash curler, you can get one right at the dollar store. So just pick one up for $1. They work just as well as anything else. Okay, and then just pick any mascara that you would like. There's tons and tons and tons that you can find at the drugstore. Today I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Voluminous False Fiber Lashes. So what I would suggest for if you're new to kind of mascara, new to makeup altogether, is what you want to do is you want to get your brush and you want to put it as close to the roots of your lashes as possible, and then you want to wiggle it. And that's going to really get rid of any clumps. And then kind of go into the first and do the same thing, kind of wiggle it. Another tip, since you just did your eyeshadow, you don't want to mess it up, is you really want to put a mirror down and tilt your head up and then look down at your mirror. Like this. And that'll help you not get that mascara on the eyeshadow that you just did. Oh, another tip is so once you first put on your mascara, when you pull this out, you want to pull it out and then wipe off all the extra. And that's really going to let the brush do whatever it's supposed to do. So if you have like a lengthening mascara, it's going to help your mascara lengthen. If you have a thickening mascara, doing that is going to help that brush allow that mascara to thicken your lashes. So you want to really wipe off a lot and then kind of go in, wiggle, 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 wiggle. And then once you really get it in the bases, then you can kind of focus like right on the tips if you want a little bit kind of on the edges. One mistake I do see with mascara though is people kind of neglecting the base of their lashes and just putting a little bit on the tips. It just doesn't do a lot for your lashes to do that. So if you're going to put it anywhere, really focus it on the base of your lashes and then kind of worry about the tips of them. But even just getting the base and leaving the tips bare doesn't even look that bad. But like I said, just only getting the tips just doesn't do a lot for your eyes. And then, I mean, you can put on a few coats, however many you want. Oh, a little tip also, if you do get it on your eyelids where you just put on your your eyeshadow, don't go immediately in to wipe it off. Give it a second, wait for it to dry. I mean, just even sit there for like a couple minutes. Wait for that mascara to dry and then go through it with like a Q-tip and wipe it off, and the mascara comes off a lot easier. It just kind of will like flake off instead of just smear all over the place and totally ruin your eyeshadow. Okay, and then to top off your look, just go in with a little bit of, if you're going to school or something, I would suggest more like a lip balm versus maybe a lip gloss. I mean, whatever you're used to though, whatever you're comfortable with. And then just kind of a light pinkish color, because you don't want to be like worrying if your lip gloss is, I don't know, like outside the lines of your lips, or you don't want to be worrying about if the color's doing something weird. So I just kind of suggest for like an everyday at school type thing to just kind of do something light in color, easy to reapply. So some that I suggest is like Burt's Bees. These are really great. These will keep your lips just looking really pretty and nice and make them feel really good. So that's a really good one. These little Revlon color stain lip balm things. These are fantastic. I used to always wear these in school. I really loved these. Another one is if you don't want a ton of color, is these baby lip little chapstick things. These give just a teeniest wash of color and they feel so good on your lips. They smell so good, so they're really great. So the one I'm going to use today is going to be just this little Revlon balm stain. And another trick, if you don't want to do too much color, is just get your finger, get a little bit, and just kind of tap it on. And this is just basically like a chapstick with a teeny bit of color. And if you're like me and one's never enough, then go in with your Burt's Bees too. Oh, just this smell like brings me back to my days in school. I used to always wear this, and it just is like making me reminisce. Okay, so here is kind of my final back to school, maybe beginner makeup look. It doesn't have to be for school, but just anyone that's kind of just starting out and they want to try out some new things, maybe put just a little bit on their eyes. If you want me to do kind of a beginner foundation or a face look, then let me know and I would love to do that. I'll give you a little close-up of the eyes. So just kind of a really fresh, easy look, and I hope that you've enjoyed this video and maybe learned something. Please let me know in the comments below if you'd like me to do a face version of kind of a beginner's makeup tutorial, and I will see you in my next video. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye!